Hi, and welcome to another session on business models. This one I want to talk to you about customer journeys. Now, the useful thing about customer journeys is that it can map out either from a new perspective, how you, a sort of new journey that the customer would expect to take, whether you're opening a new bank account or you're going on a train journey or whatever it happens to be, or you're setting up a new application. Even looking at new processes within the organization, you can take on the customer as one of your employees and doing the work inside it. Right? But what it does, it maps out also where you think the things should be working in a current situation where you might need to make changes or that somehow something is not working quite right. So the customer journey will look a bit like a loop like this. It's a little bit different to a business process diagram where you've got a process that goes from one side to the other. Whereas a customer journey, as you can see here, really has a loop back or a feedback and ends up back at the same place, which is why I was using the analogy like a train journey. So for instance, you start out at home at this particular point, right? Your next access may be to get a taxi to the station. In the station, you might need to go and buy the ticket. If you haven't already bought one, go to a terminal and buy a ticket. So ticket buying, ticket, right? And then if you're going, say, from London to Europe, so you're going on the Eurostar, for example, then of course you've got the ticket, you've got to go and pick out your train and passport, you've got to go through passport, probably more so now, and then through security, maybe security, onto the train itself, so you take the journey itself, so you travel, and then you come back on the return in the same fashion and you go through some of the same sequences, return, and then passport again, for instance, and then you get, say, the bus home this time, just for a change. So you can see there's a certain set of sequences you go through, and I just put some idea what you might do in this particular case on something going through, you know, a travel on Eurostar from London to Paris, for example, and back again, you know, to go and stay the weekend there. Could equally say catching a flight, but don't forget you can also change this and look at, say, a process you're going through with somebody wanting to, you know, install an application, or they're trying to set up something on an application on their phone or on your PC, whatever it happens to be. So the useful thing about the customer journey is that you can start from a new process you want to put in place and work out the steps that might need to be in place there. Sometimes it can also help you work out where you may be going wrong somewhere, where you've already had a plan like this in place and somehow it isn't working properly, either because some steps have been skipped or some steps have been added. So you might have a situation where, for instance, somebody's grabbed the taxi and they're trying to get through the passport and they've forgotten to go and buy the ticket. Well, why did you not buy the ticket there? Maybe you booked it online before you left the home. So there are other circumstances you might need to look at the circuit here. Or somebody's added an extra sideline in here, for instance, that they've got the taxi and you're buying the ticket, right, online on your phone on the way to the station. Maybe you're in a hurry. So sometimes it's a case of looking at some of these different scenarios and working out. And the useful thing about the customer journey is you can help work those patterns out, see where things are not working properly, where maybe you need to add stuff in, some things have been circumvented, been bypassed for whatever reason, maybe because it doesn't work properly, or they've put some extra steps in themselves and therefore change that. And this is something the business analysts quite often uses to work out where things aren't being quite correct, looking at some of the different understanding or semi-tacit knowledge, where somebody's actually doing something without realizing they're doing it, or they're not doing it where they should be doing it, or they've just bypassed something because, as we said, things aren't quite difficult. So the customer journey is quite a useful tool to help us do that.